To understand what happened, you have to understand what Guatemala was. It is 1931. A general named Jorge Ubico takes power. He is a small, vain man who believes he is the reincarnation of Napoleon. He keeps a portrait of Napoleon in his office and points to it when guests arrive. He sees the resemblance. No one else does. But he understands one thing perfectly. To stay in power, he needs a friend with money. And the richest entity in Guatemala is not Guatemalan. It is a company, headquartered in Boston. They call it El Pulpo, the octopus. Ubico gives them everything they ask for. He waives their import duties. He exempts them from taxes. He hands them 200,000 additional acres for free. He passes a law that lets plantation owners shoot workers who refuse to obey and call it self-defense. In return, United Fruit doesn't just grow bananas. They own the railroad, every mile of it. They own the country's only Atlantic port. They own the telegraph and telephone lines. They own the electricity in Guatemala City. If a Guatemalan farmer wants to send his crop to market, he ships it on a United Fruit train through a their port after sending a telegram on a their wire. The country has been turned inside out. The state belongs to the company, and the workers, they are not paid in money. They are paid in script paper notes printed by United Fruit, valid only at the United Fruit Company store. The store sets its own prices. The workers eat what the company sells them. They wear what the company sells them. They go into debt to the company, and the debt passes to their children. The English language gives this kind of country a name, a banana republic. The phrase was coined for Guatemala, not a metaphor, but a description. It starts in a classroom, June 1944. A schoolteacher in Guatemala City named Maria Chinchilla refuses to attend a state propaganda rally. They had seen it before. The disappearances, the fear. But not like this. Not a teacher. Not in daylight. Not in front of children. That was the moment everything shifted. The students walk out. The professors walk out. The lawyers, the doctors, the shopkeepers walk out. By the end of the month, Guatemala City is shut down. But the army tries to install another general. So in October, a coalition of young officers and university students do what nobody believed possible. They overthrow the army. They call it the October Revolution. And for the first time in 400 years, a teacher is chosen. His name is Juan José Arevalo. He is not a soldier. He is not a politician. He is a man who has spent his life thinking about a free society. He calls his philosophy spiritual socialism. Under Arevalo, Guatemala writes a new constitution. It legalizes labor unions. It guarantees the right to vote, for the first time in history, to women too. It builds schools. It builds hospitals. It opens a social security system. 40,000 school children get free lunches. The minimum wage becomes a real number. Arevalo survives 25 coup attempts in 6 years, United Fruit funds, many of them. He fights all of them off. His term ends in 1951. He hands over power, peacefully, to the man the people elected next. His name is Jacobo Arbenz Guzman. Arbenz looks at his country and sees a problem. 2% of Guatemalans own 70% of the land, and the largest landowner of all isn't even Guatemalan. United Fruit owns 550,000 acres in Guatemala. They cultivate 15% of it. The rest sits empty, held in reserve, kept from the families who have nothing. So Arbenz signs Decree 900. He'll buy back the unused land, at the value United Fruit declared on its own tax returns. They'd been lying for 40 years. He had just called the bluff. So they picked up the phone. They say Guatemala has gone communist. Eisenhower greenlights the coup. The CIA doesn't send an army. They send a radio station, fake broadcasts, fake battles, planes that drop nothing but fear. Arbenz' army refuses to fight a phantom. He resigns on national radio. I have not betrayed my country, he says. I have only betrayed an illusion. The land goes back to United Fruit. Then come the death squads. 36 years of civil war. 200,000 dead. A young Argentine doctor named Ernesto watches it all from Guatemala City. He learns a lesson he'll carry to Cuba. United Fruit still exists. They just changed their name. You know them now as Chiquita.